God knows the world is too full of hustlers and pimps, freaks.
You deserve a break too, Barbara.
Oh, don't worry about me. Oh, I don't expect anything.
Takes a woman for that hard interest stuff.
The glow has never been a shield protecting black female stars in their golden era. On the contrary, that light often felt more like a glittering trap. Once you stepped in, there was no way out. There were female stars who appeared on screen with looks that made everyone crave them. Toned bodies, fiery gazes, hailed as the new icons of sensuality. But it wasn't long before they stumbled into long, hard falls. Some collapsed suddenly on stage, leaving a chilling silence. Some got dragged into addiction spirals while still way too young. Some made history with just one role, only to spend the rest of their lives trapped inside it. The stories I'm about to tell aren't just about beauty or fame. They're the rough, troubled years of 13 female stars with some of the most captivating looks ever. Women who got exploited to the max, forgotten, pushed to the edges of the spotlight. Their sensual appearance didn't save them. Fame didn't hold on to them. And behind those dazzling posters were shattered lives that few truly understood. 13. Joyce Bryant. The four-octave goddess with dazzling silver hair whose glow swallowed her talent and soul in a whirlwind of desire.
Behind the dazzling stage lights, it is not always applause that echoes, but sometimes the cold sighs of fate. Let us step beyond the velvet curtain and face the truth.
Joyce Bryant was one of America's rare four-octave voices, shaking up the mid-20th century light music scene, chased by the press, pulling in $200,000 a year in fees, and becoming a bold performance icon unlike anything seen back then. Joyce Bryant's journey started with a paradox. She was born into a strict Seventh-day Adventist family in San Francisco, where music was seen as temptation and entertainment as a slippery slope. Her dad was a railroad cook, her mom so devout she locked down any fun in the house. Yet in that stifling space, Joyce grew up with a body that bloomed early and a voice that refused to stay boxed in. By 1942, at just 15, she grabbed her dreams and ran away from home, jumping into a quick marriage that ended in divorce after a few weeks, leaving behind the harsh family and the religious beliefs that still followed her every step. Los Angeles welcomed Joyce with dim nightclub stages, where she started as an amateur singer, wearing dresses so tight she couldn't sit, having to slink across the floor like a snake. By 1946, Joyce got the chance to perform with the Lorenzo Flenoy Trio, showing off a voice spanning 4 octaves, thick and sharp, sweet and bitter. The press dubbed her the Black Marilyn Monroe, while audiences packed in just to see her hair sprayed silver, shimmering under the lights like a metallic stream. From 1952 to 1955, Joyce Bryant hit her peak glory. Songs like Love for Sale and Drunk with Love got banned from radio for being too bold, but the bans only made her name spread faster. Mermaid dresses hugging her figure so tight she had to be carried on stage, but in return came yearly income hitting $200,000, a jaw-dropping number for a black singer then. On May 28, 1953, she took the most famous photo of her life with silver hair and a white dress, an image both seductive and fragile. And just a year later, Joyce became one of the first black singers to perform at the Casino Royal in Washington, D.C., openly challenging Jim Crow laws. Threats came, KKK burned effigies right outside the venue, but she still took the stage with fierce poise. But behind the silver paint and confidence, Joyce's body started crumbling bit by bit. Constant hair dye chemicals made her hair fall out in patches, scalp burning. Her throat got worn out from packed schedules. Managers pushed doctors to spray cocaine for pain relief, ignoring addiction risks. Hollywood shut doors due to skin color bias, even though she auditioned for big 1950s projects multiple times. Caught between desire-filled stages and the suppressed religious conscience from childhood, Joyce lived in constant inner turmoil. late November 1955, at her peak, she suddenly vanished from the lights. She entered Oakwood College in Huntsville, Alabama, choosing faith, calling her past life sinful sensuality. No one expected her to leave $200,000 a year behind to serve God.
We are entering the final moments where that beautiful voice is about to fade away in a haunting and painful tragedy.
In the following decade, Joyce returned to the stage changed. From 1965, she pursued classical opera, singing with the New York City Opera, performing in Italy, France, Vienna. The old glow and sensual image never came back. Joyce lived quietly, teaching singing to Jennifer Holliday and Phyllis Hyman, passing on technique but not the lost light. Her life passed in solitude until she died at 95 from old age. Looking back at Joyce's path, the very sensual beauty that took her to the top quietly wore down her body and soul, leading to turning points even she never saw coming. 12. Sheila Guise, the sweetest beauty on Broadway screens, worn down to nothing by illness and skin color bias. Sheila Guise was a standout face in mid-20th century black film and Broadway with a rare smooth voice, leaving marks through movies, TV, studio albums, and critically praised roles. Sheila Guise's life flowed like a beautiful song constantly interrupted. Born in Mississippi as Etta Drusille Guise, her parents split before she fully knew the family. Childhood raised with grandparents in Scott County. She had a gentle look, slim figure, and girl-next-door face that easily melted hearts. By 1945, at 20, Sheila followed her dad to New York, starting with odd jobs for dimes near Harlem's Apollo Theater. Days passed amid jazz sounds and artists' footsteps, building her stage dream. The breakthrough came winning a talent contest at Club Zombie in Detroit. From there, noticed, called for auditions, quickly stepping onto screen. In 1947, Sheila appeared in Boy, What a Girl. Then Sepia Cinderella, followed by Miracle in Harlem in 1948. Sweet face, gentle eyes, alluring voice compared her to approachable versions of black beauty icons then, enough for audiences to remember her face, but not enough for Hollywood to give equal chances. Alongside the bumpy career, Sheila's personal life was just as messy. Mid-1940s, married Shelby Irving Miller, split after 2 years, leaving a young daughter, Sheila Crystal. Old wounds not healed, she entered second marriage with Kenneth Davis, white dancer met on Broadway during Finian's Rainbow from January 1947. Wedding in Philadelphia, lived in Bronx, New York. The seemingly happy marriage turned nightmare. February 1952, Jet magazine ran a story, turning her private life into discrimination focus. Social pressure tightened, husband banned her acting. Finally, marriage ended in 1954. Only comfort then was on stage, where Sheila still shone. 1949-1950, in Lost in the Stars, won Outer Circle Critics Award. Continued TV with Green Pastures in 1957, Emmy-nominated role. Released album This Is Sheila in 1958. Detroit even named a day after her, rare recognition for talent being overshadowed. Tragedy hit in 1953, right after accepting big Broadway role in Mile High. Severe stomach ulcer knocked her out in bedroom. Daughter found mom. Comatose, opening painful surgery chain, body weakening, career interrupted half a year. Big role slipped away, stage drifted farther. Hollywood then only gave Sheila minor roles. Skin bias quietly locked big doors. 1958, third marriage to Joseph Jackson, New York garbage worker, had 2 more kids, Deidre and Michael. Small family brought short peace until loss hit when Michael died at just 3. Later years, Sheila Guise lived like a shadow, memory fading from Alzheimer. Glow vanished, left an old woman with brilliant but unfinished past. She passed in Honolulu 2013, closing a life where talent outshone many peers, but illness, bias, and choices meant for happiness, quietly buried her potential explosion. 11. Veretta Dillard, husky hot blues voice, fiery body contrasting disabled legs and endless pain.
Some stars burn bright not to endure, but to herald a tragedy long foretold.
Veretta Dillard was one of the rare husky blues and R&B voices of the 1950s, climbing charts, marking with haunting memorial songs, unforgettable name in Black American music history. Veretta Dillard's life opened in Harlem, New York. Childhood tied to hospital beds, white hallways, long pain. Congenital bone disease, deformed legs, limping walk, lifelong. Amid endless hospital days, music's sole refuge, soothing body, keeping spirit from collapse. Grown up, Veretta had a hot 1950s stage body, complete contrast to weak legs, creating sensual yet fragile image. Summer 1951, Veretta won Apollo Theater Talent Contest twice, Feat for Girl with Imperfect Body. Started recording with H-Bomb Ferguson, signed Savoy. First single no buzz, but name unexpectedly pushed to historic stage. March 21, 1952, Alan Freed invited to Moondog Coronation Ball in Cleveland, first rock concert history. Crowd out of control, show shut after Paul Williams opener, Veretta never sang. Fateful moment passed silent, foreshadowing career always missed. July 1952, luck finally knocked. Easy Easy Baby hit number 8 R&B, turning Veretta from backstage name to sought face. True peak, May 15, 1953, with Mercy. Mr. Percy, husky thick voice, lingering like lament, with George Kelly tenor sax, Haywood Henry baritone, Lonnie Johnson guitar, song spread America. Hit number 1 R&B, familiar in bars and radio, tying Veretta to dark emotions. Early 1955, Veretta released Johnny Has Gone, memorial for Johnny Ace, who accidentally shot himself in Dangerous Game. Veretta backstage with Big Mama Thornton that day, witnessing grief-spread music world. Song quick number 6 R&B, solidifying image singer tied to death loss. But successes became hard shadow. Rock and roll exploded, tastes changed fast. Veretta couldn't keep up. Hits stopped, big contracts closed, shifted small clubs. Triumph then, MGM, lights dimmed yearly.
The veil of secrecy surrounding the final days is about to be lifted, revealing a raw truth that tightens the heart.
By 1961, solo path ended. Veretta joined gospel triads with husband. Music no longer fame ambition, but therapy. Spent most later life music therapy for chronically ill kids, mirroring own painful childhood. But music brought no money, sank deeper poverty, name fading forgotten. Veretta Dillard died. Brooklyn cancer, age 60, called forgotten blues genius. Fiery voice, but life-full melancholy mourning from first moment to last breath. 10. Barbara McNair, elegant TV queen, dazzling glow, crushed by drug scandal and underworld. Barbara McNair was modern beauty icon for black women 1960s, singer, rare TV actress with long-running own show, standing in America's brightest mainstream lights. Barbara McNair entered showbiz with looks hard to look away. Hot body, elegant poise, confident face fresh for era. 1960s opened for Barbara like long runway, walking straight to TV, music, film center. Appeared blaxploitation films, many big shows. Then 1969, Barbara won first black women-owned TV show. The Barbara McNair Show aired steady 1969-1972, putting her among most familiar small-screen faces. At peak, October evening 1972 broke whole trajectory. October 17th, Playboy Club, New Jersey, Barbara arrested over mailed package 14 grams heroin, addressed her. She just signed receipt. No idea. Contents but clean star rep torn hours. Rumors spread faster, any correction. Though April 1973 cleared, husband took legal blame, nothing same. Show canceled, recording contracts gone, Hollywood cold shut. Barbara's private life slid non-stop after. First marriage, Jack Rafferty, 1963-1971, quiet end. Year later, July 22, 1972, Married Rick Manzi, Chicago businessman, shady ties. Bought house 4265 South Bruce, Las Vegas near Sahara Hotel, hoping new life. But Las Vegas, no peace. Early morning, December 15, 1976, Rick Manzi found dead dressing room home. Body semi-nude, needles, arms, legs, butt. No break-in, no robbery, no struggle. Barbara's brother, Horace McNair, found body around 4 a.m. Case sunk, unsolved suspicion, pulling Barbara unwilling interrogation whirl. Manzi Mafia associate, contracted hit tax lawyer underworld, but killed first. Chicago gang names pulled, case never solved. Tragedy followed tragedy. Barbara's mom died August 12, 1976. Less year later, mother-in-law died home June. 1977, November 14, 1979, dad passed. Continuous losses were spirit finances. Barbara resilient, tried rebuild. 1979, married Ben Strawn, lasted to 1987, ended infidelity, child outside. September 1987, Barbara filed bankruptcy, $458,000 debt, complete opposite TV Golden Days. To 2006, married Charles Blecka, beside her to end. Troubled journey seemed stop finding peaceful harbor, but 7 years battling throat cancer made career voice gradually vanish. Barbara McNair died Los Angeles age 73, cancer final stage. Beauty once ruled screens crushed successive incidents losses, leaving fans heartbroken. 9. Marpessa Dawn, fragile Eurydice, conquering Cannes, and Oscar, rare mixed beauty buried in poverty. Marpessa Dawn was the face that stunned the entire film world when she embodied Eurydice in Black Orpheus, the movie that won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, the Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film, and a Golden Globe, turning her into a global beauty icon after just one role. Marpessa Dawn entered. Life, with a mix of American and Filipino blood, blended into a fragile beauty that's hard to put into words. From a very young age, she left America for England, taking minor TV roles, scraping by in cheap rentals. By 1953, Marpessa drifted on to France, working as a nanny by day and singing and dancing in small nightclubs by night. It was in those places that she met and fell in love with Marcel Camus, the man who would later completely change her fate. In 1958, at just 24, Marpessa was chosen for the role of Eurydice in the Black Orpheus Project. The setting was the Rio de Janeiro Carnival, the steep hills of the slums, pounding drums, glaring sunlight, and a love story steeped in tragedy. On screen in 1959, Marpessa's Eurydice appeared with eyes both pure and anxious, a slim body radiating fierce vitality. The bossa nova music of Tom Jobim and Louise Bonfa, especially Manhã de Carnaval, wrapped tightly around that image, turning her into a shared dream for audiences worldwide. Success came fast and fierce. Black Orpheus took the Palme d'Or at Cannes in 1959, then went on to Oscar honors in 1960. Press everywhere praised Marpessa Dawn, calling her a rare mixed beauty, both sensual and fragile. But that very peak became an invisible wall. Hollywood looked at her and shook their heads. Her American accent didn't fit the mold, her look seen as too exotic. She wasn't given leads like white actresses, nor slotted into the familiar maid roles for black ones. The big doors slammed shut while the glow was still bright. After the film, Marpessa married Marcel Camus in 1959. But the marriage that seemed like a happy harbor quickly fell apart. Her husband left with a lover, leaving her alone in Europe, drifting farther from America's film center. In the years after, Marpessa lived quietly in France, taking minor roles in film and TV. She appeared in works like Chérie Noire, a comedy that toured for 7 years through France, Belgium, Switzerland, Tunisia, Algeria, and Morocco. In 1969, she was in Le Jardin des Délices with Delphine Seyrig, but the old glow never returned. Marpessa's everyday life gradually slipped into hardship. She had to raise 5 kids, scraping by with small roles and tiring low-pay tours. The global fame of Eurydice couldn't buy financial stability. She lived like an exile in France, not by choice, but because there was no way back. In July 2008, she heard the sad news that Breno Mello, who played Orfeo beside her, had died from a heart attack. No one expected that just 42 days later, Marpessa Dawn herself would pass in Paris from a heart attack at age 74. The two people who loved each other with all their hearts on screen, tied to an immortal love story, left the world almost at the same time, for the same reason. Marpessa Dawn closed her life in poverty, leaving a bitter paradox. The one role that took her to the world's top was also the grave that buried her career, turning the beauty that once captivated millions into a forgotten memory behind the old glow. 8. Tammy Terrell, Motown's top hot singer, pulled into the abyss at age 24. Tammy Terrell was Motown's shining star, the voice that meshed perfectly with Marvin Gaye in duets, with captivating looks and a string of hits that shook the 1960s, becoming a face the whole country remembered. The stage lights once turned Tammy Terrell into an icon both sensual and pure. Hot body, radiant smile, soft, sweet voice that drew every eye in the room whenever she appeared. But behind that poetic exterior was a life torn apart. In 1962, at just 17, Tammy started her first tour with James Brown. It was supposed to be the door to the top, but instead, backstage became the place that planted fear. Merciless beatings from James bruised her spirit. The abuse left scars not visible to the eye. The dazzling stage look seemed like just a coat hiding a heavily damaged soul. After that trauma, Tammy fell into another toxic relationship with David Ruffin of the Temptations. From 1965 to 1967, her life turned into a new loop of violence. Hammers, machetes, motorcycle helmets became things tied to that slim body. The beatings not only deformed flesh but eroded her will. The once praised hot look now had to brace itself day and night. Amid those damaging years, her career kept soaring. The duets with Marvin Gaye nonstop created fever. In 1967, Ain't No Mountain High Enough played everywhere on radio, putting Tammy up as a Motown icon. The public saw a young woman full of energy, no one guessing that body was being ravaged from inside. On October 14, 1967, the stage at Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia witnessed the fateful moment. Tammy collapsed right in Marvin Gaye's arms while performing Your Precious Love. Not from exhaustion or emotional overload, but a fierce migraine tearing through consciousness. Doctors then found a malignant brain tumor like a sealed death sentence. From 1967 to 1970, her body declined severely. Surgeries, one after another, 8 times on and off the table, in hope then disappointment. Vision blurred, then gone. Weight plummeted nonstop, face gaunt, hair thinned after each op. The look that once mesmerized America, now just a fragile shadow on a hospital bed. On March 16, 1970, Tammy Terrell died in Philadelphia at just 24. Her passing left an unfillable void. Marvin Gaye fell into long depression, sinking in stimulants and silence for years. In 1971, the album What's Going On was born like a sigh, carrying pain not yet eased. Looking back at her life, it feels like fate gave her no chance to escape, just leaving a shining name tinged with pain in Motown history. 7. Esther Phillips, sensual R&B prodigy. Early success swallowed childhood and stimulants turned her voice into pain. Esther Phillips, also known as Little Esther, was an R&B prodigy with a #1 hit at just 14, a name that silenced rooms with a few notes and a rare icon of raw emotion in black music. Esther's journey started like a bright dream, but eventually slid long into darkness. Her beauty wasn't from makeup or displayed body. The sensuality was in her husky, warm, smoky voice. Sing, and you immediately felt those long, sleepless nights. Right from the early 1950s, while girls her age sat in classrooms, Esther lived amid stages, backstages, tour buses, and adults with no concept of childhood. In 1954, success came too fast, bringing endless trips and inescapable pressure. In that world, heroin appeared like fake salvation, at first just to handle packed schedules, then gradually the thing keeping her standing. Body thinned, eyes sunken, but on stage the voice still poured out flooding emotion. Each song carried the feel of someone who'd lived too long in pain. The years after were a tiring loop. Rehab, then relapse. Leave stage, then return. Each return, Esther sang like draining her last strength. Voice got huskier, rougher, but realer. People heard in it not technique, but memories of struggling nights, failures, and fear of being left behind. By the early 1970s, it seemed fate gave her an out. In 1972, the recording "Home Is Where the Hatred Is" from the album From a Whisper to a Scream brought a Grammy nod. That song wasn't performance anymore, but like an unhidden confession, telling of the home where hatred and addiction always waited. 3 years later, in 1975, Esther was mentioned again with "What a Difference a Day Makes," once more near the peak she'd touched as a teen. But the old demons never left. Behind the lights, her body started betraying her. Voice lost endurance, health collapsed, each appearance shorter, more weary. Liver and kidneys endured years of abuse, quietly degenerating over time. On August 7, 1984, in Los Angeles, Esther Phillips died at 48 from organ failure, leaving only old recordings where that husky voice still rings, sensual in the most painful way. Success too early opened the fame door, but quietly locked the way back, sinking her whole, life in an endless battle with herself. 6. Mary Wells, Motown's radiant superstar with My Guy, but lost everything just for deciding to leave the label. Mary Wells was Motown's very first superstar, the music icon bringing black voices straight into mainstream America. With the hit My Guy, she became a generation's idol. Young face, bright smile, and sweet voice etched deep in 1960s memory. Early 1960s, Mary Wells appeared like a fresh breeze. Radiant look, slim figure, eyes always exuding confidence, making her stand out the moment she stepped on stage. Wells's voice soft, warm, round, hear once and remember. Motown saw in her the perfect image for conquering mainstream markets, endless tours, day-night recordings. In 1964, My Guy exploded across America. Mary Wells's name everywhere on radio, TV, charts, called Motown's golden face, the guarantee for revenue and fame. But at 21, while lights still burned hot, Wells made a sudden decision, changing her whole life path. On January 1, 1965, she sued Motown to leave based on the contract signed underage. Legally, a win. But behind the courtroom door, an invisible wall went up. The music industry started turning away. Performance invites thinned, big labels wary. The once hailed name now sensitive, tricky. Mary Wells stepped out of Motown hoping for freedom, but the road ahead colder than imagined. New recordings no longer buzzed. Glow faded fast, like makeup sweat wiped after each show night. Once advantageous look gradually changed. Body thinner, eyes more tired. She still clung to the stage, tried holding the familiar golden era image, but crowds no longer waited like before. 2-pack-a-day smoking habit quietly gnawed the body. In 1990, the fatal blow came with a throat cancer diagnosis. The disease not only attacked health, but aimed straight at Mary Wells's most precious thing. Voice weakened gradually, then silenced completely. The woman who lived by music now had to get used to silence. Surgeries one after another, hospital bills piled. No health insurance, savings from years quick depleted. Life slid non-stop. Wells, forced out of her apartment, from cultural icon, fell to daily struggle. Help from industry friends came late, but temporary enough to extend life. Bruce Springsteen, Diana Ross, and many peers fundraised, appeared on TV for support. Those gestures brought some warmth, but couldn't reverse fate. On July 26, 1992, Mary Wells died at Kenneth Norris Jr. Cancer Hospital in Los Angeles at just 49. Her life closed in poverty and illness, complete opposite the young girl who once made all America sing along to My Guy. Mary Wells's tragedy lay in the decision to leave Motown. It opened freedom, but brought boycott, then illness and poverty, the final kick, pushing her to the bottom. 5. Florence Ballard, the full seductive soul of the Supremes, pushed to the sidelines, then straight into poverty. Florence Ballard was the one who named the Supremes, the lead voice in the early days and the musical soul of the group. With her full, sensual look and rare, powerful voice, she once stood right at the center of Motown's glow. Florence Ballard entered the music world with the vibe of a girl who heated up the stage the moment she appeared. Plump, healthy body, bright face, and eyes always glowing like they carried fire. On early 1960s stages, Ballard didn't need fancy moves. She just stood there, sang, and everything around seemed to back off automatically. That strong, thick, resonant, emotion-filled voice was what gave the Supremes their initial spot at Motown. The name the Supremes came from Ballard herself, like a declaration of the position they believed they deserved. But from 1963, the group atmosphere started changing color. Berry Gordy increasingly put Diana Ross in the center of every gaze. Slim look, easy-to-promote smile, TV-friendly style got Ross absolute favor. Ballard, with the stronger voice, gradually got pushed back. Mics switched. Places. Lead parts vanished. On stage, Ballard still stood there, but her role faded. The change happened slow but steady, like oxygen being pulled away without anyone saying it straight. From 1966, pressure weighed heavy on Ballard. She started turning to alcohol to calm herself. The look that was once an advantage now became an excuse for scrutiny. Weight went up, press criticized, group grew cold. Endless tours, nights standing behind watching lights pour on someone else cracked Ballard's spirit bit by bit. On June 29, 1967, right before the show at Flamingo Hotel in Las Vegas, she got fired from the Supremes. No discussion, no chance to turn back. The door slammed while she was still in performance outfit. After that fall, Ballard entered the darkest phase of her life. From 1971 to 1972, she dove into a legal battle with Motown for financial rights. But the industry didn't side with the outcast. Lawsuit failed. Old glow no value anymore. Ballard slid long into poverty, living on welfare in a cramped Detroit apartment, raising 3 kids alone. The woman who once stood on big stages before thousands now counted coins for meals. Alcohol became the only escape, but also led to a dead end, making health collapse fast. Her heart bore both physical and mental pressure. On February 22, 1976, Florence Ballard died from cardiac arrest at Mount Carmel Hospital in Detroit at just 32. Painfully, the one who built the Supremes Foundation got left behind by that very system. Her beauty, talent, and youth crushed by uneven favor, by power, and by an entertainment industry ready to forget those who built it. 4. Vonetta McGee. Sharp beauty of blaxploitation trapped in cheap films, Vonetta McGee was the sharp beauty icon of 1970s blaxploitation films, appearing back-to-back in Blackula, Hammer, Shaft in Africa, Detroit 9000, and Thomasine and Bushrod, bringing a strong, deep, charismatic black woman image to the screen. Vonetta McGee entered film with a beauty that needed no enhancement. Angular face, cold gaze, straight posture, and high-class aura that locked the frame every time she appeared. In the early 1970s, when blaxploitation exploded, McGee quickly became a familiar name. In 1972, Blackula and Hammer brought her to wider audiences. Camera followed every expression. Lights highlighted the beauty, both sensual and tough. But right then, an invisible trap was set at her feet. Few knew that behind the lights, McGee's body had been in a long battle since very young. In 1962, at 17, she was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Silent treatments wore down her strength. Body thinned, then recovered, then weakened again. But on set, McGee hit it all. On screen, she stood firm, eyes sharp, walked strong, like never a weary moment. From 1972 to 1975, McGee got swept into the spin of similar roles. Strong, sensual women on the sidelines of rushed action stories. She acted with full seriousness, trying to pump depth into shallow-written characters. But studios didn't care. To them, blaxploitation was a quick-money formula. No big budget, no star-building path. McGee gradually realized she was being exploited, not guided to go farther. Her powerful beauty got framed in tight shots, where artistic value pushed secondary. After 1975, as blaxploitation faded, McGee didn't vanish right away. She shifted to TV, appearing steadily in smaller projects, notably Cagney and Lacey from 1984 to 1986. Work helped maintain life and stay connected to the profession. But the feeling of never being recognized properly lingered. Bigger roles, decent scripts, A-list chances never came. Hollywood saw her beauty, but not the potential they missed. Time passed, illness left deeper marks. Body fighting since teens now carried too much accumulated damage. On July 9, 2010, Vanetta McGee died in Berkeley, California, after a heart attack in an empty house with just her. A quiet end for a woman who once burned up the screen. Her life a chain of bitter paradoxes. Powerful beauty helped her be remembered, but that same system caged her in a narrow mold. Talent, seriousness, and effort not enough to break industry bias. When the screen went off, what remained was a lifelong hollow feeling of an artist who always knew she deserved more than she got. 3. Tamara Dobson, Cleopatra Jones with giant body drowned by multiple sclerosis. Tamara Dobson was the icon face of 1970s black action films, the tallest lead actress ever Guinness recorded, global fame with the Cleopatra Jones image, a strong, independent, captivating black woman on the big screen. Tamara Dobson stepped before the public like an unforgettable phenomenon. Body tall, up to 6'2", made her stand out from the first moment. It wasn't just height, it was the overwhelming feel, like a warrior appearing in everyday life, both powerful and seductive. In an era when Hollywood still boxed black women in narrow roles, Dobson appeared like a jolt, drawing all eyes to her. In 1973, the film Cleopatra Jones, released June 20th, turned Tamara Dobson into an instant icon. The character Cleopatra Jones not only fought beautifully, but exuded rare confidence, coolness, and proactivity. On screen, Dobson's giant body became absolute advantage, each step solid, each strike heavy and real. Audiences saw in her a black woman model completely different from the usual. Strong, independent, controlling the game. That success extended with sequel Cleopatra Jones and the Casino of Gold, released June 11, 1975. But the glow also started carrying shadows. As black action films faded late 1970s, Tamara Dobson got trapped in the very image that made her name. The giant body that once let her shine now became a hard-to-remove label. Diverse roles gradually vanished. Hollywood didn't know where to place that standout tall woman beyond old molds. She was still there, still stand out, but opportunities thinned, like a door closing very slow and unstoppable. Time passed, oblivion's shadow covered. Dobson's life. In 2000, life's biggest tragedy hit when diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. This neurodegenerative disease quietly took her movement bit by bit. The woman once dominating with powerful martial arts started facing a body betraying the mind. Each step became heavy. Once decisive movement slowed by lasting pain and fatigue. From 2004, Tamara Dobson lived in a community care center. No more studio lights, no camera hum, no applause bursts. Just long, boring, repeating days, pain coming and going, and loneliness seeping in. The giant body, once strength icon, now lay motionless on a hospital bed, life's bitterest irony. On October 2, 2006, Tamara Dobson died at Keswick Multi-Care Center in Baltimore at 59 from pneumonia complications and multiple sclerosis. Her life closed quietly, leaving a heavy echo. A woman once seen as a physical phenomenon, once ruling the screen with her distinct look, ultimately cornered by her own body and the entertainment industry's elimination. Rules. The glow once bright, the decline after that much colder. 2. Brenda Sykes, free-spirited beauty sold cheap on screen. Brenda Sykes was the face that stirred 1970s screens, discovered from TV, quickly becoming a sensual icon, appearing in many blaxploitation hits and marking as a free, bold black woman image. Late 1960s, the name Brenda Sykes appeared like a strange breeze. It all started from a seemingly harmless TV dating show. Studio lights flipped on, free smile with hot figure instantly caught filmmakers' eyes. The 1970s opened with Brenda as a new icon, a body beautiful enough you couldn't ignore. And right from that moment, that beauty started getting pulled into inescapable darkness. Directors saw in Brenda something easy to sell. No need for depth, no long story. Just body, eyes, and boldness. Black Gun in 1972, Cleopatra Jones in 1973, then Mandingo, released 1975. Films came out one after another, fame spread quick, but behind the glow was the feeling of human. Layers being ignored. Brenda's characters hardly changed. Sometimes lover, sometimes slave, other times nude body placed amid violence and desire. Camera glided over skin, lingered on curves, forgot all acting effort. Her career became clear proof of how the film industry treated black women's beauty. They weren't seen as artists, they got shelved like goods. Brenda went from film to film, each role like a distorted copy of herself. The initial freedom gradually became a burden. Fame came with empty feeling. The more famous, the more she realized she was being shrunk, caged in a narrow frame called sensual. By late 1970s, as blaxploitation cooled, Brenda didn't wait for the fall. She turned away on her own. Last recorded role 1978 in the Where There's Smoke episode of Good Times. Then a decisive step back, like self-saving from the dignity-lowering feel. Some say she missed chances, others think with more patience she could have lasted. But guesses go that if continued, Brenda would have just repeated the same role type until unrecognizable. Too many ifs, but all just ifs. The truth unchanged. She left while still remembered by name, accepting trade glow for self-respect. Off-screen, Brenda chose different life. Married musician Gil Scott-Heron, 1978 to 1987, had daughter Gia Scott-Heron. But that marriage hit dead end over differing child-rearing views. Right after divorce, new relationship, married Paul Claude Hudson, May 19, 1995. From then, Brenda lived low-key, away from lights, away from invites that once made her famous. Eventually, no one mentioned her anymore. 1. Gloria Hendry. The first black Bond girl, athletic, fiery look swallowed whole career by James Bond glow. Gloria Hendry was the face that stunned all Hollywood, becoming one of the first black women to enter the James Bond world, bringing athletic body, fiery look, and rare history mark on mostly white screen. Late 1960s, early 1970s, Gloria Hendry appeared like a desert wind. Toned. Body, sharp eyes, strong walk, different from usual black actress molds then. In 1972, she started getting noticed through street-flavored action roles. Across 110th Street kicked off the days Gloria got swept into blaxploitation whirl. Glow came quick. She was in Black Caesar, then Hell Up in Harlem 1973. Each appearance, camera seemed glued to body more than face or emotion. June 27, 1973, in U.S., then July 6, 1973, in London, Live and Let Die, released. Gloria Hendry became the first black Bond girl of the era. That moment, like a big door bursting open. A black actress in global playground, side by side with the most powerful male screen icon. But that light didn't last long. The Rosie Carver role made history, but also became an unpeelable label. The athletic, sensual look that got her chosen now locked her in one single frame. From 1973 to 1977, Gloria kept drifting in blaxploitation. Black Belt Jones, 1974. Savage Sisters, same year. Fast filming pace, but no farther progress. Black. Heroines appeared with violence, muscles, desire on screen, then vanished quick post-theater. As the line faded late 1970s, Hollywood coldly turned away. Studios no longer sought strong, sensual black women, nor opened new doors for those who'd carried that image. Gloria Hendry got trapped in public memory. A black Bond girl, a once shocking icon. But behind lights, opportunities drained. She had to accept small TV roles, fleeting appearances, not enough to hold old glow. People remembered her body more than acting, remembered the history mark more than the path after. Some scenes in Live and Let Die got cut for South Africa release due to apartheid laws. That showed even her history moment wasn't complete. Discrimination didn't vanish post-roll. It just changed form, quietly choking chances. Into 1990s, Gloria's sporadic appearances like Pumpkinhead II, Blood Wings, 1994, but no longer a heroine stage, just quiet side roles, passing quicker than wind. Since then to now, no more. Screen chances. The look that once took Gloria Hendry to history's top slowly swallowed her whole career. There you have it. The glow faded, the lights went out, and many of them drifted into oblivion, even though they once had the most captivating looks on screen. Is it true what people say? Beauty brings misfortune? The stories I just told aren't to stir pity or regret. They're a warning about the price of fame, a reminder of how coldly the entertainment industry runs. Lifts someone up fast, then ready to drop them without hesitation. What do you think about the tough fates of these female stars? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more stories from behind the stage lights, where the truth is always rougher than the glamorous surface you see through the camera lens.